Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning some more HTML and building a table. We're going to be learning about tables in HTML. Nothing too complicated. I've already done this particular project, which is called the Wine Festival project, but I figured it would make for a relaxing Let's Learn on this channel. I'm going to start calling them Let's Learns. Anyway, sit back, relax, close your eyes. You don't even have to really pay attention, especially if you're not interested in HTML in particular. This is going to be dry. It's going to be boring, which is perfect for ASMR. So, let's just get started. So, this here we have a project called the Wine Festival Schedule project, where we will be building a table for their website. That's going to have the activity, the event that's going on, and the corresponding time that it is going to start. So let's just get started. We don't even need to read this whole spiel here. It's not important really. So here we have our index.html, and there is some CSS that's present, but we will not be touching that at the moment. But the CSS is going to style and visually put together a table and make it look a certain way, but we're just going to be worried about the HTML for this video. So basically, we've got 10 tasks here that we have to complete. Follow their instructions, and you pretty much learn along the way while putting together the table. So, in index.html, inside the div element that has the attribute class with the value of container, create a table element. So, we're already here. We're going to go inside the div element that has the attribute class, so that's right here. All right, this is under in the body tag. So what we're going to do is, what I like to do is just enter from this point, because it spaces it out automatically, which makes it just a little bit easier, I would say. So we're going to create a table element. And whenever you're creating an element, usually you close it out with this little swishy line. I don't even know what you would call it, but that's how you close out elements. And I'm just gonna do this and just drop it like that. So that's done, easy. So we've got a table now. I'm gonna save that. Inside of the table element, add a section for table headings using table head. So we're just going to put the table head element here. Of course, we're going to close it out as well. So nothing too particularly complicated just yet. Then add 2 rows inside of it using table row. So that's just going to be this. We're going to put 2 table rows, close them out, and done. Then, let me just check this off. Inside the first table row element from task number 2, add a table heading element. So that's going to be, this is the first table row element that they're referring to. So they want us to add a table heading element, which is going to be th, I believe. It's th. And if it's not, then we'll have to fix that, but you know, we'll know as we go along. Sorry, let me explain what I'm doing here. So now they're saying inside of that include an h1 with the following text: Wine Festival Schedule. This is where we'll be able to finally see if what we're doing is correct, because we'll start to see a visual representation of it here on this side. So currently I'm kind of just doing things in the back end that we can't really see anything, but we're going to put the h1 tag here. H1 is just the heading. Heading 1, you have H1 through 6, and each comes with a different size. I do believe they get subsequently smaller with each corresponding number. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's H1. And actually, you know what? For H1s, for H1, 2, 3 headings, I like to keep them on the same line. Just personal preference. So we're going to put wine festival schedule. And we're going to save it. And now we can see here we have a visual representation of wine festival schedule. So that's done. I'm going to check that off. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Next, we're going to go inside the second table row element, which is right here. And we're going to add 2 table headings. So, table heading, close that, and then table heading, close that. And then in the first, we're going to add H2 that says time. So we'll put time in there. And in the second, we're going to add an H2 that says event. So I'm just going to put H2 here. And I'm going to put event and save it. Make sure it looks good. Okay, so we've got time. We've got event. And I realize it kind of looks a little bit confusing like this. Let me just drop this down here so you can kind of see everything kind of on its own line here, so it makes sense. So you may notice that the wine festival schedule does not stretch across the entire table, which it doesn't. It's only over here, so it looks a little, weird. So you may notice that, and we can fix it. So in the opening tag, th tag, table heading tag of this element, add a call span equals 2. That's basically column span. So it spans the column to something. I don't know. 2 indent spaces. 2 something spaces. Whatever that measurement is, it does that. And it's should even it out anyway. So in the opening table header tag of this element, which is going to be, where is that? I think it's this one, right? I think it's this one. Call span equals 2, I believe. So sometimes when you have to open a tag like this, it breaks the whole chain because there's no closing tag, so you just have to put the bracket there and it closes. There we go. That worked. Easy, light work. It's not that complicated. This is very basic stuff, to be honest. But I've been trying to learn HTML consistently every single day. So what I've been doing is just studying every day for 30 minutes, so that I can kind of familiarize myself with HTML, and then eventually I'm moving on to CSS, and then Java, JavaScript, and then Java. JavaScript is used in HTML, so it makes sense to learn that next. I work in email marketing, so all of this can kind of help me basically just further my career. It's not necessary, but I want to go the extra mile, so why not? Okay. Below the closing table header tag, section off the table using the table body element. So that's going to be closing table header tag right here. Section off the table. Oh yeah, that's right. I was a little confused about what they were asking me to do for a second. Microphone's kind of blocking my vision, just in case you're wondering why I'm typing so badly. I think it's this, if I remember correctly. I think it's T-body. I believe if I click this, it'll tell me though. It's T-body. Okay, I was right. Cool. Just good to know, just in case. The thing about this is if you make a mistake and then it's towards the end of the project or whatever you're doing, you've got so much code you have to go through to try to find out what the hell it is that you did wrong. And for me, in my experience, most of the time, it's mostly a typo, or I accidentally used a bracket instead of, a dash or something because I slipped when I was typing. Super freaking annoying. But it happens. That's why you have to be careful. It's also why I'm not a coder or a programmer. But it's a good skill set, which is why I'm picking it up. So instead of the table body, inside of the table body created in the previous task, create 5 rows using the table row element. So this is just standard business here. We're gonna close that. We're gonna see what I mean. If I miss that, if I'm in a hurry, that can cause problems later on. But it's not a big deal. Because I'm recording, I'm actually hypersensitive. So compared to when I'm doing this in my own time and I'm, kind of like my attention is fractured between multiple things going on. Because I'll have something on my second monitor watching something or whatever. So, okay. So we did that. We created 5 rows. We have to populate these rows, obviously. Otherwise, it's just going to show up blank. But inside of each of these rows, we're going to create 2 cells using the table data elements. So as you can see here, there is a hierarchy, right? In order to create just the basic table, you have to follow this structure. And, in terms of like execution, this is simple, but the hard part is remembering, the hierarchy, right? Like T-body, TR, TD, table, remembering which one is above which one can be difficult, and you have to constantly reference it. Obviously, you can always look it up, it's not a big deal, but I'm kind of like anal about remembering this kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So we're going to create the table data element here. What did they say? Create 2 cells using the table data. Only 2 cells? Okay. I thought it was more than that, but we'll just do that for now. Okay, the first table data in each row should have the attribute class with the value left. Let me just space this real quick. Attribute class with the value left. Did I do something wrong here? Let me hold on a second. Inside each row, create 2 cells used. Okay, that's the mistake that I made, because it's in each row, create 2 table data elements. So let me do this real quick, just so it's a little bit more visually appealing, right? So we have to go inside of each of these and basically create 2 table data elements inside each of these rows. Alright, which is not a big deal at all. And to save us a little bit of time, though, I do think I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I like to type it out just so I get some muscle memory for it, but for this video, I think it'll be easier if I just copy and paste it and, do that. So, a little bit more simple. Okay. So it's a little bit more stretched out now, which is good. Don't know what this padding is about, though, to be honest, but I'll just roll with it. So we created 2 table data elements inside each of the rows. The first table data in each row needs to have attribute class with the value of left. Okay, so let's go back up here and do that. This is where it can get kind of confusing when things kind of compound, and you start like not knowing how to kind of chain everything together. But it's not that bad. You just have to be very meticulous about it. And once you're meticulous about it, it'll be fine. And just, as always, just check your work. You check your work along the way, it's less likely that mistakes will sneak up on you, right? And you won't have to worry as much. Alright, I'll put that in there. It's not a big deal. Remember to close that out, and we're gonna save. This is the second one, so we're gonna go to the next one here. Class equals left. Do that. Take this off. Good. And then our final one right here. class equals left. Messed that up pretty badly actually. So let me do this. And I'm gonna take this off. And this bracket needs to go. Boom. Save. Alright. So we did that. Should be fine. Should be fine. But we'll see. So inside each of the 5 TD class left elements, add an H3 element that includes the time of the events. So we're going to go back up here and start with, I wonder, I think I have to do it like this, right? I'll check my work with the first one just to make sure. Like I said, I did this already, but doing it over and over again is good because it's, you know, okay, that worked. It's repetition leads to it being stored in your long-term memory, so on and so forth. So, don't like the way this looks. I'll drop it here. It's fine. I'm not very good at like making sure the code looks good, to be honest. No, but in my line of work, in email marketing, I've seen people's code and they think that I don't know because I'm a marketer, but because I take, you know, these classes in my free time, I know it's very messy, their code as well. So I'm an amateur. I have an excuse, but they're supposed to be pros. So it's pretty common to see messy code like that. Mostly because it's like once you type it all out, it's like who has the time to really make it look nice? And add comments. And there's never any comments added to help guide me, but it's besides the point. Anyway, so let's go here. We're gonna add another H3 tag. I keep saying tag, but it's an element. All right, so we're gonna add that. It's 1 p.m. There we go. We're gonna go here. Hope you guys are doing well, by the way, and everything's going well with you. I'm taking a trip to the UK this Friday, so I will be away for a few days, but I will take some pictures and footage and talk about my trip on this channel when I get back, and that should be a lot of fun. I think that I'll have a lot to say. I've never been to the UK, so it'll be an interesting trip. It's finally time to travel, you know, after being locked in for 2 years. Okay, so we added H3 here. Now we got to go here to the next row and add another H3. And we're going to put in a time of 4 o'clock, and that should be it for the time. Let's save that. There we go. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to put in the events, which is where the other table data cell comes into play. So that's that, and here we are to the last portion, and it only took us about 20 minutes to pretty much finish this. Not too bad. Not too bad if I do say so myself. So inside each of the table data elements that does not have a class attribute with the value of left, add H3 and put the names of the events. So it's pretty easy to do. What we're going to do here is just repeat this process for each individual table data element, and save our work just to check here so we can see it looks good, no problems, all is well. We're gonna do it again here. It's really not a big deal. Who cares? Let's go like that. Storytelling and tasting. That's good. Good to know. Good to know. Save. Okay. Yeah, this is some primitive shit, right? It's like from the early 2000s, but this is where it starts. You know, you have to learn the foundations if you're going to build more complex looking websites, or in my case, emails. So, did that. Nah, I kind of lost my place on what I was doing here. Hold on a second. Okay, we're here now. Yeah, 2 p.m. So now we're going to do the wine luncheon. And see, if you don't put the thing in, by the way, this is what happens, just in case you're wondering. It automatically defaults to a paragraph element. So, gotta put in the heading if you want it to render in the way that you want. So see the difference? It's a big difference there. So okay, next we've got the Aguilar family wines. Hope it's a good event, you know. They're really talking it up, so I expect big things. Family wines, not a big deal. Okay. And then finally at 4 p.m. you can expect the wine and cheese tasting. So, I mean, it took them, let's see, 12 o'clock is the welcome reception. Storytelling and tasting at 1. So the welcome reception took an hour. It took them 2 hours to get to lunch. Right? And then 3 o'clock is their family wines. I don't know what that means. Maybe they're just going to talk about their family. And then finally you get to the wine and cheese tasting at 4 p.m. So if you showed up at 12, that's 1, 2, 3. You have to wait 4 hours just to taste the wine and cheese. It's ridiculous. This doesn't sound good to me. I wouldn't go personally. You gotta lead with the wine and the cheese. Like, what is this? You know? Storytelling and tasting? Like, get that bullshit out of my face. I digress. So I apologize. I went off on a tangent. Anyway. Come on. Like, amateurs. Alright. Wine and cheese tasting. You know, if it was up to me, this would be up here at 12. Or, reasonably at 1, let's say. Or maybe just have it during lunch, because that makes sense too. I don't know. But who am I to say? Anywho, guys, that's it. You have created the event table. Cheers, and cheers indeed. We did it 22 minutes, technically. Could have did it in 20 if I didn't go off on a little rant there about why I think their wine festival sucks. But that's just how I am. You guys know me by now. So, that's it. That's how you build a table with HTML. Very simple, pretty easy. The hard thing is just remembering, what comes first, what comes second, and what comes third, because there's, TR, TD, TH, TH, head, there's table. Not that kind of head. Don't get your head out of the gutter, you degenerates. I'm just kidding. And this is what it looks like, if you want to see a full screen. And I do believe you can check kind of like the final version. This sort of compare your work with theirs, and we did it correctly. Actually, I believe I did it even better the second time than when I did it on my own, because I don't have that padding there anymore. Don't know what that was about, but it's gone now. So we're good to go. And that's basically it, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you when I get back from my trip. I'll have a video up talking about my experience in London, the UK, and hope you guys will enjoy that as well. So tune in for that. That'll be out next week sometime when I get back around. I'll get back on Tuesday, leaving Friday, getting back Tuesday, but I probably won't record a video until Wednesday, so end of next week you can expect that video sometime around there. But hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye.